Greetings from Christian News and Interviews. I'll start off by talking about alternative lifestyles. An alternative lifestyle is a lifestyle that's perceived to be outside of the norm for a given culture. For example, the norm in the United States is for a man and a woman to marry and possibly have children. And then those children grow up in the family and hopefully are protected by that mother and that father. So that is the quote unquote norm in the United States and many other countries. Brother Polight lives an alternative lifestyle. He admits that he did not grow up with his mother and father. He admits that he met his mother when he was about 17 years old. I have no idea what happened because he doesn't go into why it is that he was not in his mother and father's home growing up. But he did not grow up in a home with a mother and a father. And he did not know his mother until he was 17 years of age. At some point, she gave him away, I guess when he was a toddler or a baby. And when he was 17, he met her, but she died that same week of cancer. He also did not know his father. So I'm guessing that his father abandoned the family. So we have Michael Nowak, who grew up in a family that was not the norm, the typical. Okay? Now, Brother Nowak, or Brother Polight, has one legal wife. And he has multiple mistresses or side chicks who he calls his wives. And then he has a bunch of other women, like I call the third tier women. So the first tier woman is his wife. He's like a pimp. The second tier are these 2 or 3 women he called his wives. And I think one of them left. 2 of them left, I believe. And then the third tier are these harlots that hang around him and feed into his ugly ego. Now you can see from this picture, from these pictures here, that this is not Denzel Washington. I mean, this is nothing to write home to mama about in terms of looks. And in fact, he's gruesome. I cannot imagine why any woman would want to kiss this guy or do anything intimate with this guy at all. But because he is such a scam artist and such a liar, he's been able to scam so many women with his money that he has scammed from people. And women, I believe, go after his money, of which he has none of his own. He has a bunch of scams going on. And he has silly people opening up their wallets, their credit cards, their checkbooks, and giving this man their money. A scam artist. And they never get the money back. It is a mess. But this man, excuse me, he was described by the victim's mother as a demon. And that was a perfect description. This guy is wicked. Now let's get back to these alternative lifestyles, which he's living. An alternative lifestyle is your business, but children should not be involved. The woman whose daughter was attacked and abused by Polight, her 14-year-old daughter had no business coming with her mother to deal with this man on any level. The mother admitted that she moved across country to be with this scam artist. And she brought her daughter with her. What a lot of women don't realize is when you have a beautiful young daughter, the men may pretend that they're after you, even if you're good looking, but it's really that young flesh that they're after. And this is a sick man right here. This is not a normal man. Anybody who can scam a sickly man or an elderly person, that's not a normal person. This is a horrible human being we're looking at here. And that woman moved across country to be with this guy. And her daughter ended up defiled. in an alternative lifestyle that she had no business being in. You're not safe in an alternative lifestyle. You're safer in a normal house with a normal mother, a normal father, normal siblings. But these alternative lifestyles, like what he's living, I cannot imagine why any mother would subject not only herself to that, but her children. The victim's mother saw Polight's lifestyle. She knew that he had a wife and multiple harlots, but she packed her bags and brought her daughter and moved in with this man. Now, some people are saying, well, let's not blame the mother. I am not going to give the mother a pass because she exposed her daughter to this monster. So I'm not going to let the mother off the hook. One thing I do give the mother credit for, though, is that she took this monster to court. I give her credit for that. But this lying man, even though DNA evidence was found on this child, even though everybody knows what he did to this child, he still has followers and he's still lying. This man scams elderly people, mentally weak people, silly people, naive people. He scams fools. He's an equal opportunity scam artist. He scams them out of money. And in the case of women, he lies and pretends that he's this great God. And then he keeps saying that women are God. I'm a woman. I'm not God. He's saying black women are God. When did black women become God, sir? He'll say anything out of his mouth that he thinks that you'll be willing to eat. And he'll run with that. So he's saying black women are God. And women are falling for this and falling into his bed because he says something so stupid. I wouldn't even want to be God. What powers do I have? If women are God, why are they with this monster? Women will fall for anything. Women are God. Really? You can look in the mirror and see you're not God. If I were God, I'd be sitting on the throne somewhere, rich. I'd be out here healing people if I were God. I'm not God. This man will make up anything. He's a total scam artist. And his women support him regardless of what he does. In that sense, he's running a cult full of stupid, disgusting women and despicable men. He has his own cult going. And because of this alternative lifestyle, this cult, that young lady ended up, heaven only knows what all he did to that child. I don't even want to imagine. But I do know that his sperm ended up all over her, and I do know that she ended up with drugs in her system as well as alcohol. He has daughters. He would have a fit if a man did to one of his daughters what he did to this young lady. He's so disgusting that he thinks that you should ignore what you see and hear and go by what he says. A scam artist. The worst part of all of this is that his fans don't care what he's done or what he continues to do. He's a sociopath. And so are his followers. But karma has finally caught up with this monster. And thank God he's in jail. So his little sex covens, his witchcraft, his lies, karma is starting to visit him. And I plan to take a front row seat because he's going to continue with his ego on a downfall. And I plan to sit and cross my legs and enjoy every moment of this monster's downfall. God bless. Stay tuned.